So obviously the most obvious difference is that you are not in the same physical space as the others, so it makes it harder to use nonverbal communication towards your teammates and also towards the jury. In that situation, it's really important to focus more on the verbal part of your presentation, and also, since it's a case competition and you're going to use your slides to present, this is what the jury and the audience will mostly see, not you directly. So it's quite crucial to have really clear and understandable slides, because probably the audience will read them even more than in offline competition. So one of the main threats that can occur is that some of the teammates face some technical difficulties, for example, lose internet connection or falls out of the meeting room where the competition is held. You should be prepared for that and focus even more on preparing for the presentation. So I would suggest to learn at least one other part of the presentation besides yours fully to get ready to jump in if it's needed. The slides which you use for the presentation are equally important in every case competition, but in an online setting it's even more important, since everyone will see your slides on their full screen and they will just like distantly listen to your voice. So make sure to practice a lot after submitting your slides and use the same terminology and the same structure when presenting a slide than what is seen, to make it easier for the audience to grasp. Other than that, I think the same rules apply which like in every case competition, so make sure to use a clear structure and visualize your message. Okay, so if you notice during the presentation that one of the teammates loses connection or just loses their voice, then get ready to jump in. I think it's beneficial if you discuss in advance like which teammate jumps in for which other teammate, so just know who should be the one to speak up first if something like this happens. And yeah, usually like you have time between submitting your presentation and presenting in front of the jury, so practice at least 2 or 3 times before going to the finals. So first of all, it's probably beneficial to prepare a little on the jury members, get to know their background, their careers. This might help you understand what they are most curious about during the presentation and what they want to hear. So this is, of course, not only beneficial for the presentation, but also for the case solving itself. Secondly, since they will view your slides in full screen and probably loosely listen to what you're actually saying, or not listen every time, then I would suggest to change your tone sometimes and try to emphasize the main messages as many times as possible to make sure that they grasp the true meaning of the presentation and they don't lose attention too much. I think there are some small tricks that can help during the presentation and make it less stressful. For example, in order to measure the time, I would suggest to put out your phone with a timer in front of you to make sure that one of the teammates won't take up too much time from the presentation and you know where you're at. And also to practice the presentation 3 or 4 times before going in front of the jury, just in case someone has to jump in. And also every team member should be very familiar with at least half of the presentation in case someone has to jump in for another team member.